in the hell is Jonathan Gannon? And I'm going to tell you why you should be excited for what could be the next head coach of the Houston Texans. Cue the intro. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of The Lead. Your host, as always, Harley Dugan. Jonathan Gannon from the Philadelphia Eagles. He's currently the defensive coordinator there. And I'm going to tell you the potential staff because this is what excites me as a Texan fan, that Jonathan Gannon at 39 years old, very young, this new wave of the young-minded head coaches taking storm of the NFL, and Nick Caserio looking a little bit outside the box in terms of a head coaching hire. Jonathan Gannon was initially hired by Josh McDaniels from the Indianapolis Colts, but Josh McDaniels, of course, left. But Frank Reich decided to keep the rest of the staff. Now, Jonathan Gannon was with the Colts as a defensive assistant / defensive backs coach, where he did amazing things. And nothing but good stuff coming from players and from coaches as well. Apparently, from reading up more on Jonathan Gannon, he also stems with the Minnesota Vikings, Atlanta Falcons in 2007 is where he got his NFL start. He ended up being a pro scout with the St. Louis Rams from 2009 to 2011. That's a big plus for me. A head coach that has an eye for talent, that knows what a scouting job is. He understands it. He did it for 3 years. So that is what I got, and that is very exciting for a head coach. Next, 2012, Tennessee Titans. He was there from 2012 to 2013 with Mike Munchak, and Mike Munchak had a tenure there where he got fired in 2013. Jonathan Gannon comes in 2012 as a defensive assistant. You saw a lot of staff changes that year. Then moving into, like I said, the Minnesota Vikings for 3 years, from 2014 to 2017, 2 years with the Colts, 2018 to 2020, and then just last year with the Philadelphia Eagles. And I'm letting you know right now, you should be absolutely hyped for this potential staff that Jonathan Gannon can produce. If Nick Caserio is going to let him, let's say, build this staff a little bit, have a little leeway in building this staff, and, usually new head coach, new guys, new staff, somewhat of a clean house. You could keep a few interns, assistants, but that's about it. Jonathan Gannon potentially brings in Mike Zimmer as his defensive coordinator, and right away I am like, bring him on. Mike Zimmer has shown great success everywhere he's gone. He started with Jonathan Gannon in 2007 with the Atlanta Falcons for 1 year, and ended up bringing Gannon back to the Minnesota Vikings from 2014 to 2017 until Gannon had left to take the Colts job. But this is fun because Mike Zimmer, as your defensive coordinator, also brings in his son, Alan Zimmer. This is interesting. You get a really good defensive coordinator, probably one of the top ones out there right now. What he did with the Cincinnati Bengals was no joke, even though the Texans whooped that ass. The Minnesota Vikings had a dominant defense during Mike Zimmer's time there, had some little downhill slopes every once in a while, but for the most part, it was an uphill, just beat your ass kind of defense coming at you 24/7. The Vikings were legit defensively. Mike Zimmer was, because of that, bringing his son along with him, Alan Zimmer, who's not only there just because of his last name, that obviously helps, but he knows his stuff, and he's a linebackers coach / co-defensive coordinator for the Vikings. That guy also possibly comes here. Then you look at offensive guys for Jonathan Gannon. You got one of them, which could be unlikely, but Scott Turner, who is currently the offense coordinator for the Washington football team. His dad, Norv Turner, was with the Minnesota Vikings. Scott Turner was there before his dad got there. So he's been there and has a relationship with Gannon, possibly link up to Houston. I just don't see it too much since it would be a lateral move. So I don't see that happening. The one I could see happening Obviously, you got Pep Hamilton that could be retained, but Clint Kubiak, and yes, guys, this is the son of Gary Kubiak, and that excites me. Jonathan Gannon, Clint Kubiak, Mike Zimmer, that is what excites me. Clint Kubiak's offense, you know Kubiak's offense works in this league. It's working with the San Francisco 49ers. It's worked with the Atlanta Falcons. They made it to a Super Bowl with Kyle Shanahan. It's worked with many others. Kevin Stefanski down there in Cleveland. Just last year, not this year, but last year, they're there battling out with the Kansas City Chiefs in playoff spot. So with that being said, you know Kubiak's offense works in this league. You know it does. It travels well with whoever it is. So again, like I said, Gannon, Clint Kubiak, Mike Zimmer, and then the cherry on top. And if you want to repair the fan base, you want to repair the relationship between the Texans and the fans, offensive line coach, Mike Munchak. Mike Munchak was with him in Tennessee, like I said. Jonathan Gannon could potentially bring in Mike Munchak. That would be fun. Munchak could be possibly available because Vic Fangio got fired from the Denver job. So there is an open position to grab a Mike Munchak. That right there is what can bring this fan base together, because Mike Munchak is a former Oiler. He's a former Oiler great. You're going to bring back a lot of these longtime Texan fans that have the Oiler fan in them still. Obviously, come on now. And Mike Munchak is that guy to fix your offensive line like that. And this is no disrespect to James Campen. Like I've said before, I think he was just stricken with extremely lack of talent. But hey, you can give me Mike Munchak, I'm going to take it 24/7. And that is the cherry on top of a potential dominant staff that could help Jonathan Gannon. You got two guys there that have head coaching experience that can immediately help out a young 39-year-old first-year head coach in Jonathan Gannon. You got another young guy as offensive coordinator in Kubiak. You could bring in an offensive consultant, a little senior offensive analyst, whoever you want to bring in, whether that be a Josh McCown or, retaining Pep Hamilton would be huge for Jonathan Gannon. These are just multiple options out there. I'm definitely going to drop a tweet on this potential staff. And I'm telling you, Texan fans, look up Jonathan Gannon, look into him. The more research I do, the more I get excited about what could be the next head coach for our Houston Texans. That's it for today's video, guys. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for the notice to turn on. Drop your comments, your reactions down below in the comment section. Let me know, what do you think, guys? Jonathan Gannon completed his second he's going to complete his second interview with the Houston Texans. I don't believe it's been completed yet, but he's going to. And usually when you do a second interview, like it said on there, they were blown away. And there's other teams that are really been blown away with Jonathan Gannon, and he is a hot candidate right now. He's getting compared to Brandon Staley, and just fun fact, him and Brandon Staley are extremely close friends. Jonathan Gannon was at the dude's wedding, okay? They are extremely close friends. This is a lot to take in. I understand that people don't like it. They want to hear what the Eagles fans got to say, and they don't got a lot to say. Don't believe the Eagle fans. I'm telling you right now, I believe Jonathan Gannon can be the next head coach for the Texans, and a very successful one for years to come. As always, guys, go Astros, go Rockets, go Texans. You have a blessed day.